Okay, let's kick things off. If you've ever had that dream, holding your own book, but then the whole publishing part just feels, well, overwhelming.
Totally. Like this huge, complicated maze.
Yes.
And expensive, right? That stops so many people.
Exactly. It feels like you need connections or just tons of cash.
Yeah, that feeling you need a secret handshake or a massive budget.
Well, our source material today aims to cut right through that noise. We're diving into the description for a book by Nikolay Gul called Easy Book Self-Publishing, a step-by-step guide with AI assistance. And our mission really is to unpack its approach. What are the key ideas that could make self-publishing actually seem, doable, affordable, effective?
And it looks like this source directly targets those big worries. Talks about giving authors clarity, confidence, and cost-saving control.
Okay, confidence and clarity are great, but cost-saving. How much are we talking?
Well, here's the really eye-catching claim. Launching a professionally formatted book for under $250 total.
Wow, okay. Under $250. For the whole thing, professionally done. That's a huge claim, if it works.
It's definitely a bold promise, and it suggests this can be done without, the thousands you might spend traditionally.
So what's the secret sauce there? How does it get the cost down? The title mentioned AI. Is that the key?
That seems to be a huge part of it, yeah. The source highlights that the book deeply integrates artificial intelligence. It even mentions over 150 AI prompts ready to go.
150 prompts?
Right.
Prompts for what exactly?
Yep.
Just like thinking up titles?
Oh, much more than that. I mean, yes, titles and subtitles, definitely.
Yeah.
But also things like optimizing your book description, your keywords. So people actually find it on Amazon.
Right, discoverability.
Exactly. And drafting marketing stuff, social media posts, launch emails. But the source points out something it calls unique, a 7-step AI-powered buyer persona testing.
AI-powered buyer persona testing. Okay, what on earth is that? Why is it important?
So this sounds like a really core marketing insight from the source. It's apparently unique to this book's method. The idea is to use AI to figure out exactly who your ideal reader is.
Like build a profile of them.
Precisely. Their problems, what they're interested in, where they hang out online. The source says using AI makes it like a live case study. So your marketing message actually hits home.
Ah, so you're not just guessing who might buy your book.
Right. The insight is that really knowing your audience makes your marketing way more effective. Less wasted effort.
Okay, that makes sense. So AI helps with the marketing and finding readers. But what about the actual nuts and bolts, getting the book physically or digitally out there?
Yep. The source stresses it's a full step-by-step guide, covers the essentials like getting your ISBNs, your LCCNs.
Those official numbers books need.
Oh, exactly. Things that show it's professional. It even gives an example number like 20259-06574 as proof it covers these details. And it gets into formatting for Amazon KDP, ingramspark, Barnes & Noble, all the main players.
So it guides you through that technical side too.
Yeah, the claim is it shares real-life solutions and industry secrets, not just vague promises. Actionable steps in every chapter, apparently with AI prompts woven in.
That step-by-step approach sounds like it could really help with that overwhelmed feeling.
Yeah.
What about after the launch? Does it talk about long-term stuff?
It does. This is another key insight, I think. The book promotes this idea of book as a brand.
Book as a brand.
The thinking is, don't just see your book as a one-off product. See it as like a foundation, an asset to build your authority, get found, maybe create other opportunities later.
Interesting. How do you actually do that, though? Build a brand from one book?
Well, it talks about tactics for getting real reviews, which is always tough at the start, right?
Yeah.
It mentions using services like Book Sirens. But the really clever bit seems to be this content repurposing matrix.
Content repurposing matrix. What's the insight there? It sounds structured.
Yeah, it sounds systematic. The idea, according to the source, is you treat each chapter, say all 30 of them, as a content pillar. Yeah. And the matrix is basically a plan. Take the core ideas from a chapter and slice them up into smaller bits of content. Blog posts, social media updates, maybe email snippets, short videos.
Ah, so you're getting maximum mileage out of the work you already did writing the book.
Exactly. You create the stream of related content, all pointing back to your book, establishing you as someone who knows their stuff in that area. It drives organic traffic.
Less reliance on just paid ads, maybe.
That seems to be the goal. Build an audience naturally.
Okay, so pulling all this together from the source, who is this really for?
It seems squarely aimed at aspiring authors, first-timers maybe, people who are passionate but feel blocked by the cost or the tech stuff, or just, how to even market a book.
Right, the ones feeling that initial overwhelm we talked about.
Yeah, the source positions it as that practical mentor, helping you publish professionally, avoid expensive mistakes, and get seen long-term.
Okay, this dive into the source definitely flags some interesting approaches, making self-publishing seem less daunting.
It really does lay out a potential roadmap and especially leans into using these newer tools like AI and thinking strategically like that book as a brand idea.
So for you listening, if you've got a book idea brewing, or maybe even a draft sitting there,
Yeah.
here's a question to chew on. How could using AI, not just for writing, but for the whole publishing and marketing journey, actually change things for your book?
Yeah, or maybe think about this. What if you started viewing your book not just as the end product, but as the start, the hub of a whole content system for your brand? How would that shift your approach?
Lots to think about there. Definitely highlights the potential in leveraging these modern tools and strategies.